song they used in the trailer.
Watch the movie.
It's called
I've been hearing really good things about it.
Go to the movie theater across the street and watch it.
I don't have time. Everything karaoke.
Oh my gosh. Since we're talking about Try Everything, can I tell you my dream last night?
Yes.
So like when I was watching this movie, I was like crying constantly because it was like hitting so close to home.
Zootopia?
Zootopia.
I'm right there with you. I was like,
And so last night my dream was I met Shakira. I was like, you know, your song Try Everything, it really touched my heart. And she was like, come here. And she was hugging me and singing it to me.
Oh, no.
So I woke up, I was like, I have to stop Christine. Again, like the Mexican girl is like singing the pop song. Who's gonna sing with me? I messed up tonight. I lost another fight. I set myself alive, just start again. I keep falling down. I keep on hitting the ground. I always got to see what's next. Birds don't just fly, they fall down and get up. Nobody learns without getting it wrong. I won't give up, no, I won't give in till I reach the end, and then I'll start again. No, I'm unbelief, I wanna try everything, I wanna try even though I fail.
Christina B. So Christina, that was wonderful.
Why thanks?
That was wonderful.
Is this
Oh, hi, Kyle.
Oh, hi.
Did you want to take the next verse? Is that?
I can't say no.
What time is it? Oh yeah, I guess you can sit down.
like, is this the
It's 8:19.
Oh yeah, I guess we're 4 minutes.
It's a karaoke panel. Surprise. So
Yeah.
down.
Can't go wrong with karaoke.
Well, we're just warming up. Like Kyle's got his lip sync battle tomorrow, which I assume all of you are going to, right? Woo! All right. So she was just practicing.
I'm gonna be there in hologram.
Okay.
Yeah.
She's there virtually. All right, I'll take it. That's cool.
So hi guys, how's everybody doing?
Good.
So this is the voice actor talk show, which I'm going to be hosting. So I thought it was really cool that you guys always get to ask them questions. So I really wanted to ask them some questions. However, if you have questions for these guys, I'm happy to take them from the audience. But I hopefully have enough prep that we can just go the entire time without them. So hopefully you learn some cool stuff. So what I'd like to do, if you want to go down the line real quick, starting with Danielle, just introduce yourself. 3 titles these guys might have known you from, and then we'll get into it.
Hi guys, what's up? That should be a title. Ready to party. Yeah. Hey, so I am Danielle McRae. I'm in League of Legends as Karma, and Schoolgirls as Painwheel, and Esha and Mega Dimension of 2DS. So yeah.
Did you just say you're Kesha and Megan Dimension McMahon?
Hey, Kesha. Yeah.
Oh my god.
Hi guys, my name is Xander Novus. I played the announcer in Super Smash Brothers for Wii U and 3DS.
Yeah!
Oh, stop. I also play Sergei Strelka in Tales of Hysteria, and I've got Camp WWE, which is coming out soon on the WWE Network, where I play the Ultimate Warrior.
My name is Aiden Rudd. Some of the work that I've done is I've done some work on Magi, I've done some work on 7 Deadly Sins, and I've worked on JoJo's Bizarre Adventure as well.
Hi, I'm Christina B. I'm currently working on Miraculous Ladybug. I play Ladybug. And it was just announced that I'm in Hunter x Hunter as Killua. Thanks, guys. And Sailor Mars and Sailor Moon.
Sailor soon.
Come on, just admit it. You're Negasonic Teenage Warhead in Deadpool, right?
Yeah.
That's exactly right.
This is totally her.
Here's my Negasonic.
Okay, good.
I'm sorry, I'll let you finish your tweet.
I'm Kyle Abear. I voice Ryu in Street Fighter V and Damn Nemo. Get your Nemo, it's out now. Apparently it's hard to find, but Amazon still has it. If you want to tweak up your character on Brawl. I'm also the narrator and adult Gohan on Dragon Ball Z. And talking about Naruto. I do on Bleach and other things too.
Naruto!
And my name is Edward Bosco. I am also in Street Fighter V as a new character named Ed, so definitely pick up the Not Amiibo for that. I'm also Ara in Dust and Elysian Tale, and I was in a different WWE series called WWE Slam City, where I got to be CM Punk, The Miz, Mark Henry, Santino Marella, and Damian Sandow. So it was done by the guys who did Robot Chicken, so it's all stop motion, and it's like a web series for kids based on the toys.
Oh, awesome.
Cool, nice. So yeah, all right, guys. So the question you guys always get asked at voiceover panels, I'm sure, is how you broke into the business. That's a really long question. So what I want to know from you guys is what's the appeal of being in this business? Like, what do you love most about what you get to do for a living? And I'm going to start with Danielle at the end.
Okay. I think what I love about this business is like I love to play, just like having fun, and I still call it to this day Halloween for the vocal cords. That's never going away. It is like, you know, because like you're somebody else for a day or two, and you know it's like you get to be somebody completely different from you, and you just play with them, and then when it's over, it's like playtime's over. So yeah, I love to play the most.
Oh, am I going next? Oh,
No, we're just going to go in a zigzag pattern.
oh, okay. I like that we make millions of dollars for doing nothing. It's great.
Thanks, Chris Rock.
Thanks,
Appreciate
Chris
it.
Rock.
No, I mean, yeah, it's fun. It's nice. It's a good experience. If you have a passion for acting, I feel like voiceover is one of the best places you can be because you do get to play. You can go into a session and play the dad, the dog, and the kid. You know, you don't have to just be restricted by being one person or how you look or anything like that. It's just pure acting, and I love that.
For me, it's just acting in general. I just love the idea of using, just becoming something else and using that honestly to move someone else. Because honestly, everybody has that movie or TV show or musical or stage play or whatever that has moved them in such a way. And voiceover in particular works best for me because I've always just really loved playing around with voices. I love putting on these different, I like that phrase you used earlier. Halloween for the vocal cords, because it really does sum it up a lot. And yeah.
What do I love about the business? It's really tough for me to say. First of all, I was always told when I was younger, like in school, that if you could do anything else, do what else you would do that. Don't be an actor. That was the advice from like my high school and my college teachers. But there's just something about me where you just know this is what I'm supposed to be doing. I feel like it's my passion for sure. And I've been lucky enough to get consistent work to make my living off of it. And I think my favorite part about acting is building characters. And I love doing the work. I love breaking down scenes. And this is more for like script stuff, but like the scene work, I really love. I've been taking singing lessons for years, and singing is something that I've always enjoyed doing, but I was never trained in it. So learning how to sing it's really exhilarating actually. And also like stuff like I posted yesterday, like doing accents, going from not being cast to doing any accents to being, in this past year alone, I've worked multiple jobs doing art like South American Spanish, Chinese, and Japanese accents like for games and stuff, and I think that's really fun. It's really exciting. I think that we're really lucky to be in an industry where you can see the progress of your career and your skill level. And on the freelancing side, my personality type, I'm pretty spontaneous. Like things change on a whim for me, so being able to have that kind of flexibility and freedom with my schedule to some extent, to take time off when I need it, and also just to have those days where I'm just working consistently for, like for, I think like last month I was working for 3 weeks straight, because the convention's on the weekend. I'm talking too much. Thank you.
Best thing about it, oh man, I guess the best thing you can have in life is doing something that you love for a living. You know, making money, I mean, that's not the goal, is to get rich or be famous or anything. It's like you do something because it speaks to your soul and makes you happy. I've been able to learn ever since I was a kid that I wanted to do this specifically, not just be an actor, but be a voice actor, work in animation and now video games and stuff like that, that it has creatively satisfied my soul and enriched me. I feel like a millionaire in that sense, because I'm not financially by any means. But, I mean, I saw like a meme on Facebook saying, it's like, I think we're meant to do so much more than just put on this earth than to just go to a job and pay your bills and die. You are meant to do more than that. So I appreciate and I love getting to obviously travel the world, meet you guys face to face, and talk about how inspiring it is to find whatever it is your passion is in life, to take risks, to go out there, be ready to fail, and then get right back up and just do like the Zootopia song. Totally. Try new things and learn, because those experiences will take you to new heights in life, and it's so worth it. So voiceover has done that for me.
Yeah. Just like Zootopia! Oh my god! Yeah! Real quick, Tana, Janine do like the audiobooks for like the Zootopia something?
did.
Do you want to tell them about that? Like, because that's pretty cool.
So this was kind of crazy. I got a call from my agent. They're like, "Hey, Disney wants you to like audition for these audiobooks." It's like, no, senpai knows me. So I auditioned for the audiobooks, and they called me in to record them. And so I had a really great time. I got to work with. And the crazy part is, they're like, "Hey, so the producers chose you." So I'm like, "Do you want to audition or senpai?" Of course, I didn't say that. But
Or did you? You walked in like, "Oh my god, senpai, I love you."
Oh my gosh. So it was really fun. But the thing about the audiobooks too, because like when I did them, I thought I knew the entire like movie. I thought like, I know the whole movie. I know who the bad guy is. But then I get in, and there's so much more. Like all the themes in it were not present in the books because they're for kids and they're like 16 pages long. Yeah, it was really cool to know that even though I knew like the bones of the story, but to be so touched by a movie, like that has not happened in a long time. It was so good. Zootopia now in theaters.
Yeah. So I'm sure you guys have a hard time picking out what your favorite role is. There's so many. They're like choosing your children. Typically you choose the firstborn. What would you say is the worst role you've ever done? In terms of you showed up because they were paying you, but it was a miserable experience. You don't have to name names, but maybe just a time in the booth where you're like, God, I just can't wait for this to be over. And this is for anybody who wants to take it. I told you it was going to be hard-hitting questions, I'm just saying.
Man, I had a character, I'll be honest, it's in Yu Yu Hakusho. I'm known for a character called Karasu, which is awesome, because he's evil and cool and everything. But I also play a completely pointless dude named M2 in the Dr. Ichigaki saga of Yu Yu Hakusho. And this dude does nothing but whimper and cry because his master is going to die, but his master is like evil, so he's controlling the minds of these three people who he calls M1, M2, M3. My guy does nothing but but I can't say it was a miserable experience because I still had fun. I'm getting paid to play someone that I don't like. I mean, come on, we're inhabiting skins of actors, of other characters, and you know, I'm a whore, I admit it. Just throw whatever my way, and yeah, I mean, generally the experience is very, very positive. The only negative thing I can say is not the characters, but so much the throttling on your voice from the screaming, shouty stuff.
Yeah, that gets painful. Okay, we're not recording this, right? I mean, they wouldn't know this anyways. But I went on Craigslist.
Oh gosh.
Uh-oh. I was in college. I was like, yeah! I'm going on Craigslist. I'm going to find a voice acting job. So I found an audition. It was for, actually it was pretty cool. It was for, you guys know what Purikuda is?
Yeah.
They're like those Japanese photo booths. You go in, they're speaking Japanese, like, pause it, anyways, there's this company and they were localizing them. So I got to be the voices of all these Purikuda machines that were around, you know, the U.S. So I was like, hey, welcome to whatever picture, blah, blah, blah. So that was me, but here's the thing. First of all, they didn't know what they were doing. Because when I came into audition, they had their condenser mic, which is supposed to be upright like this. They had it facing me like this. So like, yeah, it's really soft for all the people who have come in. I'm like, oh, well, you just do this. And so I got hired, and the thing is, so I go in, and they don't have a studio. We're just recording in like their warehouse where they have all the putty machines, which is really cool. But they didn't have like the recording software. We did the entire script for one machine, and he was recording in Windows Sound. Like, yeah, so, and I didn't know this, but so when he put all the files into the machine, it was like all peaking, like, I was like, what did you record with? I go, oh, Windows Sound. I was like, here's a program. Okay, so that happened. So then we recorded that entire script, and the other scripts were translated with like Babelfish. And so I became like the on-the-spot script adapter, and those were 12-hour days, and it was not paid like a video game.
Oh!
It was paid, but it was like a flat rate, so I was like,
For 12-hour days?
yeah.
Oh my.
So that happened. That happened.
Aiden, what about you?
I don't really have one.
None. I can't think of one.
Do you realize how green I am?
I mean, you look great to me.
Yeah, that's because I'm 23.
What about you, Xander? Do you have any terrible stories? I don't know, maybe about being in the closet?
Yeah, I've told this story a few times at this con. This was fairly recent. This was the worst job I've ever had in my life. Voiceover-wise, I've had worse jobs. But, yeah, so, you know, it's not uncommon for you to, and I mean, this is how, like, I have booked union video games through my agent, very official, and they're like, okay, here's the studio, you go, and you show up, and it's somebody's house. It happens. So that's not really that unusual, but so I get there, and it's a really sketch house. Like, it's falling apart. It looks like, you know, meth dealers live there. It doesn't look a bit, so I'm like, all right, whatever. Go, do the job. Knock on the door, this guy opens it, and I mean, he shows me to this closet. This tiny, tiny little closet. And he had they didn't have a condenser mic, they had a Shure SM7B, which is a broadcast mic. It's not really meant for voiceover. So that right there is like, eh. And then it's jammed like right in my mouth because there's not room for the mic. So I'm basically swallowing this thing. It's freezing cold in the booth. And they hadn't told me what voice they had cast me for. And it wasn't a character I auditioned for, it was just some guy and who was like 60 years old. They wanted this really deep voice. It wasn't something I could do, and I knew that, and I said, are you sure you want me on this guy? And he had so many lines. So by the end of the, you know, when he started off, you know, he was fairly deep down and talking like this and all that kind of stuff. And then by the end, he sounded like this. And it was a 4.5-hour session, and they just wanted to keep going. About halfway through, I was like, guys, I don't think this is sounding good. And they're like, you're right, take a minute. But they paid me, so that's the important part, I guess.
Alright. So I know this question kind of came up yesterday. I just remembered it was a job I hated. I forgot to mention it yesterday. So I'm not going to name the name of this video game. It's never coming out. I auditioned for a character. She was pretty cool and everything. I'm like, oh, that's pretty awesome. And then they're like, yeah, you're hired. And so when I voiced this character, about to voice, I was like, oh, guess what? You know the script you auditioned for? Well, we need a new script. It's like, okay, that's cool. Yeah. We need you to write it. Please write this script. You know, I know. Oh, and write the backstory to this character. I'm like,
what?
I'm leaving. Okay, bye. I forgot to mention this yesterday, but that is probably the worst job ever.
Did you end up writing it, or did you just
No, I walked away. I'm like,
you were smart.
No. God.
You didn't go, how many zeros can you add to that?